بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear students of Communication and Public Relations Management, today inshallah we will continue chapter 1, which is titled by Defining Public Relations. The previous lecture we start to discuss and we mentioned some functions of public relations, such as writing, media relations, planning, researching, publicity, marketing communications, community relations, and build consumer relations, employee relations, government affairs, and investor relations. And today, inshallah, we will continue the main functions of public relations practitioners or public relation department. Special public relations. Public relation practitioners or public relation departments should build a special relation with the special publics. So dealing with those publics or the special publics critical to a particular organizations, from African, American to women to Asian. فحسب طبيعة الاندستري اللي أنا موجودة فيه، الببليك ريليشن في إلهم أو الببليك ريليشن ديبارتمنتس في إلهم سبيشال publics. مثلا إذا كان بنشتغل في القطاع الزراعي ففي عنا special publics اللي هم الناس اللي لهم علاقة بالزراعة والمزارعون والسبلايرز لهذه الماتيريالز. لازم تكون تعاملنا معهم بشكل أكبر، تعامل أكبر مع المرأة، ف it is a special also public. So public relations dealing with those publics critical to particular organizations, from African American to women to Asian. Public affairs and issues dealing with public policy and its impact on the organization. So public relation department should deal with the public policy and to know its impact on the organization. And also as you know that any organization is not isolated or it is not separated from its society, and these issues or the problems which is faced by those societies or their society, the organization should contribute and develop their society, and they have to solve those problems which is face those societies or their community, which is called social responsibility. So again, إذا كانت الببليك ريليشن ديبارتمنت في organization فهي لا تعيش بمعزل عن البيئة أو المجتمع الموجودة فيه، ف it should take into its consideration the community and the issues or the problems which is face those community. تحاول إنها تحل هذه المشاكل أو تلقي الضوء عليها، تساهم فيها، تنمي أو تطور من هذه كمان الكوميونيتي اللي احنا بنعرفها كمصطلح اللي هو المسؤولية الاجتماعية. Social media interface. Here, once we talk about social media interface, we talk about technology. When the organization interfaces with the public, its website as well as creating links with social media options. So, organization's website, it is considered as the mirror of the organization. So we want a person who's responsible to manage this website daily, مسؤول عن نشر الأخبار، طريقة الكتابة، أن يكون هذا الويب سايت جذاب. فبالتالي هذه مسؤولية أيضا الببليك relation person. The last topic of this chapter, it is the course of a spin. So what does the term mean to you? Spin, it means خلينا نحكي ببساطة. السبن تعني التلاعب بالألفاظ، التلاعب في حقيقة الموقف، في حقيقة القضية، محاولة تجميل الموقف أو القضية. So spin equal distortion, obfuscation or lying, and also spin cannot cover up for poor performance. So if you have a poor performance and you spin, this will not cover your performance, and you will never fix your image later. So a good public relations is not a liar, and you should always say the truth. So spin doesn't equal good public relations. And to talk about the course of spin in more details, so pervasive has the influence of public relations become in our society that some even fear it as a pernicious force. They worry about the power of public relations to exercise a kind of total control over the public opinion. فهم يعني again السبن المقصود فيها انه يكون لدى الببليك ريليشنز قوة، يعني بسميها قوة خبيثة أو قوة شر، إنها تأثر على تفكير الببليكس، وبالتالي يصير في عندهم نوع من الconfusion. Also, spin signifies the distinctive interpretation of an issue or action to sway public opinion, as in putting a positive slant on a negative story. In its most virulent form, spin means confusing an issue or distorting or obfuscating it, or even lying. So again, the spin, it means lying, distorting, obfuscation. Spinning an answer to hide what really happened. That is lying, confusing, distorting, obfuscating, whatever you call it, is antithetical to the proper practice of public relation. In public relations, if you lie once, you will never trust it again, so you cannot fix your image later for your public, particularly by the media. Nonetheless, public relations spin has come to mean the twisting of message and the statement of the half-truths to create the appearance of performance which may or may not be true. The last topic, or a new topic about public relation for this chapter, what manner of man or woman? So here we wanted to ask a question: who's going to occupy public relation positions, whether a man or a woman? So we can say that if the following traits, it's 7 traits, existed in a man, so this position is preferred to be for them. And if those traits existed in a woman, so it is preferred to be or this position to be for a woman. To know what is those traits, the first one, diversity of experience. You have to have different experiences from different organizations. You have to work as a public relation in universities, public sectors, NGOs, private sectors. So if you have a different experience in different organizations, so you can be able to occupy in this position. So in each field, if you are working at different organizations and in different industries, in each field you deal and communicate with a different publics, so you have an experience. The second one, performance. You have to have a good actual performance in different places, and this will give you a high weight. The third one, communication skills. You have to have different communication skills. As you know, you are dealing with different publics, so you have to have different communication skills to know how to send a message or the type of the message for the consumers, for the government, for the community, and so on. The fourth one, relationship building. Relationship building, you have to know how to build and keep relationship with people, with your community, with your employees, with your investor. Okay, and the third one, proactivity and passion. You have to be an initiative and to have your own decision, and how to build the relationship with human beings such as co-workers, employers, and other people. So you have to have a passion. Teamliness, it means you have to be able to work within a team, or you have to be able to know how to build it. And the last one is intangibles such as personality and likability. So public relations is not dealing with the tangible things such as the accountants. They are dealing with the financial reports and with percentage of profits, the loss and so on. They are dealing with something intangible such as a personality, feelings, attractiveness, likability. So again, if those traits is existed in a man, so it is preferable to be or to occupy this position for a man, and vice versa. Also, there are 6 important skills which are important in public relations. One of those skills, knowledge of the field. Knowledge of the field, it means to know what is public relation, its importance, why we need it, the main functions of public relations, and the main tools used by public relations. So the underpinnings of public relations, what is it, what it does, and what it ought to stand for. Another skill needed for public relation, communications knowledge, the media and the way in which they work, communications research, and the most important, how to write. And how to write, it is one of the main functions of public relations. Technological knowledge, you have to have a good knowledge about or to dealing with the social media tools such as Facebook, Twitter, to know how to deal with computer, with its program, and how to deal with web or the World Wide Web. Okay, so technological knowledge, familiarity with computers and associated technologies, as well as with the World Wide Web, are imperative. Current events knowledge of what's going on around you, or what is going on your community, because you are a part of your community, and you are not isolated from it, and what surrounding you in your community. Business knowledge, how business works, bottom line orientation and knowledge of your company and industry. So you have to have historical data about your organization and how the job be done. Management knowledge, how senior managers make decisions. So public relation, as we said before, is the link between linking management with publics. So before senior managers take a decision, you should conduct researches and collect needed information for him in order to make their decisions. So public relations should have management knowledge. It means how senior managers make decisions, what is the needed information, what is the information needed for the managers in order to make their decisions, and you have to collect those information for him. In terms of attitudes, that effective public relations practitioners must possess the following 6 requisites are imperative. The first one, pro-communications, bias toward disclosing rather than withholding information. Okay, so as we said before, that your main job as a public relation practitioner is to disclose information, to telling the truth, not to withhold it. Also, public relations professionals should want to communicate with the public, not shy away from communicating. And now, so we can say that a good public relation practitioners should know how to communicate with publics, and they should have a good personality and to know how to present their organizations. This is for poor communication. The second one is advocacy. If you work as a public relation practitioner within an organization, you should feel proud about your organization, and you should defend about any rumors about your organization. So advocacy here, it means that public relation people must believe in their employers. They must be advocates for their employers. They should stand up for what their employers represent. So as a public relation person, you should support your employers and your organization also. Counseling orientation بمعنى التوجيه والإرشاد. You should provide an information for your manager, assist them, and also providing them needed information in order to take the appropriate decision. So counseling orientation, a compelling desire to advise senior managers, top executives are used to dealing intangibles. It means that the managers always deal with something tangible, such as balance sheet, the profit margins, the cost per thousand, and the cash flow, while public relations, who's the persons who deals with something intangibles, such as public opinions and also the messages. So you have to work as a public relation practitioner as an advisor for your employer. Ethics, the mantra of public relations practitioners must to do the right thing. So the main role of public relations, not to lie and to tell the truth and to do the right things. Okay. The fifth one, willingness to take risk. Public relations professionals must have the courage of their convictions and the personal confidence to represent their curious role in any organization. So as a public relation person, you must be a courage and face or handle risks or problems and take your organization in a secure way. The last one is a positive outlook. It means you have to have a good appearance and to be smile always. Then we wanted to make or to differentiate among different terms, public relations, marketing, and advertising. Aren't they really just the same thing? Is there any difference among each of them? Public relations and journalism differences. According to the scope, if we differentiate between public relation and journalism, public relation has many components such as research, media relations, publicity, community relations, speech writing, counseling, and many components, while journalism has only two components, which is the writing and media relations. The objective of journalists are to be observers. They are just an observers for the news, while public relations are advocates about their organizations, about their employers. The audiences, journalists focus on a mass audience, so the main audience for the journalism or the journalists, is the external audience or the external public, while public relations professionals focused on a defined publics, whether internal or external publics. and they also deal with a special publics. Journalists use only one channel, while public relations use a variety of channels in order to transmit a message or to release the news for their publics. To show or to differentiate among public relations and advertising, the advertising works through mass media, while public relations relies on a variety of tools, and one of those tools is mass media, or we have different tools of social media used to publish their messages. Audience advertising addressed for an external audience, while public relation targets specialized audience, whether an internal audience or an external one. The scope advertising is a communications function. Public relation is a broader in scope. And also for a function, advertising is a tool. Public relation fills a support role. Also, if we talk about communication, as we said before, that advertising have one-way communication. They are sent a message, but they are not receiving a feedback, while public relation have a two-way of communication. So it is broad in scope. Marketing and advertising traditionally promote products and services, while public relation promotes entire organization. An information placed in the media by identified sponsored data pays for the time and the space, so it is controlled. In advertising, it is a controlled method of placing messages in the media. عادة بنحكي دائما الإعلان مدفوع الأجر، ويعني حسب البليس اللي حتختاره في الإعلان والحجم وإلى آخره، هذا كله بيلعب دور في الدفع لهذا الإعلان. أما الببليسيتي الدعاية it is an uncontrolled method of placing messages in the media because the source doesn't pay the media for the placement. To differentiate between public relation and marketing, public relation is concerned with relationships, whether with the customers, different organizations, private organization, governors, and the investors, while marketing sells the products or services. Different words are used by each profession to express similar meaning. Public relation relies on two-way communication, while marketing relies on persuasion in order to sell their products or services. So if we want to define marketing it is managing a long-lasting relationship with their customers or managing a profitable relationship. So another definition for marketing, it is the management function that identifies human needs and wants, offers products and services to satisfy those demands, and causes transactions that delivers products and services in exchange for something of value to the provider. إن شاء الله في next meeting على الزوم راح نناقش بشكل أكثر تفصيلي مع الطالبات الموضوع الأخير اللي هو إيش الفرق ما بين البابليك ريليشن ماركتينج أند أدفرتايزنج. إن شاء الله هنسمع منكم بشكل أكثر تفصيلي، فياريت يكون في تحضير من قبل الطالبات لهذا الموضوع على أساس نوجد فرق ما بين البابليك ريليشن ماركتينج أند أدفرتايزنج، لأنه كتير أحيانا بنخلط ما بين هذه terms. This is the end of chapter number 1. Thank you for your listening and good luck.